Hello and welcome to the Hobby Corner. My name's Kev, and in this video we'll be exploring the Indomitus box. So whether you're a crusader for the Imperium, a Necron lord out into eradicate life, or just simply interested in the box, this video is for you. So stay tuned to find out more. So as I said before, this video aims to break down what the Indomitus box is, the value, the details, what's missing, what's yet to come, what's coming soon after, as well as the possibilities on pricing and release date. So let's dive in. By the way, box art is awesome. The rulebook, we'll start with that stuff first. So it's a hardback, it's got an exclusive alternative cover on it. It's going to be the first way of getting the new 9th edition rulebook, but I assume that there will be another form, probably in another starter box they might release, or sold separately. This box is not a starter set, it's a release box. That's what they call it anyway. So all the gubbins, like the measuring sticks and dice and this, walking you through the rules and everything, that's not in it. What is in it is that rule book, which is like double the size of the 8th edition book. It's got tons of lore, rules to play. It covers open, narrative and match play, and also all the different sized games as well, and board sizes, and also the much anticipated Crusade campaign system, where you get to start off with like a basic hero, and then you can just, as you go on with campaigns and stuff, you build them up and you turn them into veterans eventually, which is really cool. It's kind of got like an RPG element to it, and I'm really excited for that. You also get another book in there called The Edge of Silence. It's kind of like a campaign book. It's got all the data sheets for all the brand new models in there. It'll have lore on what's going on to do with those two armies and that box. And it'll also be exploring more about the Prior Nexus. So that's probably something similar to the Necroquake sort of event that happened in Age of Sigmar. And then of course you got a build guide and a transfer sheet that has the Ultramarines, Space Wolves, Blood Angels and Dark Angels. So no scars, no Imperial Fists, and the other lot. Sorry, Iron Hands. The sprues are jam-packed as well. They are easy to build kits, but don't let that deter you, because they don't look as clunky as the easy to build kits that we've seen before in the previous starter sets. There is some customizability as well. So there's some weapon variants for the Necron warriors. You got the Gauls Flayer and the Gauls Blasters. The Gauls Reapers. They got extra heads as well, so you can swap them about, and they've got various amounts of damage to them. And similarly, the captain, the Space Marine captain, actually has 3 different heads as well. He's got a helmetless head, a head with full helm, and a head with the helm visor lifted up, kind of like a knight's helmet, which is cool. So they're really sort of diving into the Crusader sort of element of the design there. So that's really cool. And as I said, the sprues are jam-packed. You can easily see them being boxed up separately as well, the way they've been done. But yeah, I mean, there's tons of heroes and stuff in it. It's absolutely crazy. So on a closer look to the models, so if you've seen the previous video on covering those early release pictures and leaks and stuff, one of the things that I picked out in the fuzzy picture was the 3 heavy weapon guys in the top of the picture for the Space Marines. I thought they might be like Imperial Devastators, or maybe something close to Aggressors. Turns out they're Eradicators. They have long range melter rifles, which is awesome. So they look very much like aggressors, just less cabling and stuff like that, which is fine, you know. So yeah, that's what we got from those weird pictures. I'm gonna look closer look on the actual models themselves. The captain, awesome. Definitely will use the open visor. I know it's shown in all the pictures, but it just looks really cool. That shield is awesome, and apparently that skeleton that's embedded in it is an Imperial martyr. How cool is that? So even in death, your duty doesn't end. And there's a dead Necron on the base as well, which is awesome. Lieutenant, I love lieutenants. He's awesome as well. The pistol that he has is a Neo Volkite pistol. We don't have Volkite weapons in 40k. They're in Horus Heresy. It's supposed to do something quite nasty and different to what the existing weapons do. I can't wait to see what it does. And of course, he's got his big shield and everything. The chaplain looks a bit more like the traditional chaplains that we've had in previous incarnations. So the Crozius Arcanum actually has the winged sort of creature on it, eagle sort of thing, but not quite an eagle. Strangely, no one notices that. And it's a lot better than the old pimp stick that we had with the first Primaris chaplain. So I think they sort of copped on quite quickly and maybe just changed that design before finalizing it. The Judicia is awesome. We've discussed this before. So tons of skulls and everything. Love the Executioner blade. Can't wait to see that in action. The Blade Guard vets are also really cool as well. Tons of detail on them. Could definitely see people running a couple of those units as well. But what's more interesting is the Blade Guard Ancient. So there's three things I want to say. Lots of robes. Damn, there's so many robes. There's another dead guy as a relic, and if you look closely, he kind of looks very similar to the chaplain. You know, with like the bionic half a face and stuff. And a third thing, which is my favorite detail of this model, is that he's got the hand off that skeleton on a chain, and he's just hanging, you know, just swinging it about. And I swear, if they make that his close combat weapon and it's like a power weapon, I'm gonna be so damn happy, because that it would just be so freaking awesome. You just go around bitch slapping all the heretics and Xenos with a fucking martyr hand. That's just, oh god, man. So yeah, I love that. Eradicators, yeah, we discussed those. They look really cool. You got a 10-man assault intercessor squad. Very cool. There is a possibility that you might be able to swap some of the arms around. I definitely know that you will have to change one of them as a squad leader. So yeah, there's options, possibly. And then you got the Outriders, those three bikes, which are like little tanks with two wheels. They're awesome. Moving on to the Necrons. In that fuzzy picture that we saw for the Necrons, I spotted out the Overlord. I thought it would be a Necron Lord. It's an Overlord, and it turns out it's got a Tachyon Arrow and a Hyperphase Glaive, which sound really nasty. I also saw a large immortal-like figure in the bottom left corner. It's like half of it wasn't even in the picture. I remember Nick from Idic Beer, Necrons and More. He thought it might be a new destroyer, but I was like, or new immortal, and I was like, no, that's got to be more like a lieutenant, like the Necron's version of a lieutenant. And he's even got a stripe on his head, like a lieutenant. So yeah, it turns out it actually is. It's a Royal Warden. It's armed with a relic Gauze Blaster. He looks tough. He looks really, really tough, and it's sort of there to fill in that gap in the hierarchy, just like a lieutenant. So that's really cool. The next one, so we move on to you know, the stuff that I wasn't guessing. So you got the Plasmancer, which is that spindly cryptech. It's got no legs or anything. It comes from a class of cryptechs called the Harbingers of Destruction, which is cool. It could be a possible weapon buffer, by the sounds of its description. Has a plasmic lance. Comes with 2 crypto thralls, which they call murder buckets, which, you know, absolutely names them, which I like. One of them's kind of like the face is kind of slightly open, like it's a ghast or something. So it's interesting to know that the face, that the components of the face do move as well. Then they said that it's not quite like, they're not quite like traditional bodyguards. So bodyguards are usually defensive, you know, they're there to soak up the attacks rather than do much else. I reckon these are there for more offensive uses, maybe just to strike out other units and deal out the damage. So that's them. The Scorpec Lord, we already know what that looks like, and of course it's a massive destroyer class, has Enigmatic Annihilator, which is that big gun, the Hyperphase Harvester, which is the big blade, and then the Flensing Claw, which is that awesome claw. And it is an amazing mini. I'm guessing it's going to be about a Redemptor Dreadnought size. You got the Scorpec Destroyers, which are awesome as well. They got various Hyperphase weapons as well. Then you got the Plasma Sight, which is, it apparently doesn't do much else like in combat and stuff. It's more there as a buffer, and it's supposed to buff the destroyers by injecting tainted energy just to make them like extra enraged. So that's cool. You got the Canoptic Reanimator, which is the long thing with the orbs on it. That's there to sort of boost reanimation protocols, so that's really good. You can never have too many things that can buff that rule, because that's what Necron's all about. And it looks really, really cool as well. It's also got 2 Atomizer Beam Lancers as well, so that's cool. So it can defend itself. And you got Canoptic Scarab Swarms, which come on the sprue with the warriors, as you would expect. Massive improvement on the older sculpts. They look a lot more in line with the Canoptic Spider, which makes sense because it makes them. So you got that, and they're various sizes as well if you have a look. And then of course you got the warriors with their 2 weapon options, which is awesome. And there is a possibility, I did look on the sprue, and there is a possibility you could, with the spare Gauze Flayers or Gauze Reapers that you have left over, you could possibly convert your existing Necron warriors just by, you know, carefully clipping off at the wrists and just gluing the new ones on, and even popping a few of the heads off and putting those extra heads on. So well worth looking at. All right, now let's jump into the estimated evaluation of what you get. So we'll start with the Space Marines. Now you get a lot of characters, and that's easily between 100 and 110 pounds. If you think like the captain would be worth about 25, the chaplain would be 22.50, the same as the Judicia as well. And then of course you got a lieutenant, and then you got the ancient as well. So that's 5 characters, easily between 20 and 25 pounds. Then you got the 10 assault intercessors, based on the price for 10 intercessors. I'll put that down as 35. For the eradicators, put 10 to 15 because they're easy to build. Max 20, maximum 20 pound, based on the easy to build aggressors, because those are 20 pound. So I think actually it might be more likely 20 pound, so I'll put that down. And then of course you got the Outriders. I'll put 30 to 40, but they could be as low as 25, and that's based on you know how bulky they are in comparison to regular bikes and to dreads as well. And then of course you've got £30 for Blade Guard vets, sort of £10 per mini there, because they're kind of like little heroes. So that gave a rough estimate about 200 to 220 pound. And then for the Necrons, the Overlord again about 25 pound, the Warden 22.50, The Plasmancer and Crypt Thralls I'll put as 25, even though like a model like Marnius Calguard that comes with 2 Honor Guard is over £30. The Plasmancer isn't as big, it's not as bulky, so I think that's why it'd be a bit cheaper. Scorpic Lord is roughly the same size as the Dread, so I'll put that down as £40. And then 30 to 35 for the Destroyers. And I reckon the Plasma Sight may come with the Destroyers, or it could even be an exclusive to the box, but I doubt it. 25 for the Canoptic Reanimator, again based on the Dread, because I'm guessing it's quite a tall model, so not bulky but tall, so it's not as much as the Redemptor Dreadnought, but it's going to be not cheap either. And then 20 Warriors with Scarabs, based on Intercessor prices, you're looking at 35 for every 10 of those, so 70 quid in total. So you got a rough estimate about 240 to 250. So the top estimates of £470. In the article it said it's better than 50% savings. A lot of people are expecting it to be about £120. If it's better than 50% saving based on these guesstimates, and of course, you know, you got to remember that Games Workshop have just done a slight increase on their pricing as well recently, then this, it's going to be like a £200 box really, especially if you think about the Rulebook, which is twice as big as the 8th edition one, and that was £30. So you know, that's food for thought, but that's all, you know, guessing really. The release date is going to be late July, most likely for pre-orders, I reckon, because it's got pushed back for COVID and closing the factory for so long and all that, and they need to catch up with the orders and stuff. But I don't think it would be pushed too far back, so that's why I don't think. They've already said it's going to be in July, but I reckon the pre-order will be late July, at the earliest the 3rd weekend, and then maybe it'll be out by the end of July, or the beginning of August. So that's my guess there, based on current circumstances and that. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Still to look at, so the pictures that we've seen of the entire range of Necrons, we still haven't been told about the new monoliths, the possible terrain, the Silent King, that's another big one, and the creepy chat that's in the background of that picture between the Canoptic Reanimate, was it the Canoptic Reanimate or the Doomstrike thingy? The Doomstalker, the Canoptic Doomstalker, and the monolith right between. You can see that weird thing there. So we'll see what's going on there eventually. And then they've told us what's coming soon after that release as well. So for the Space Marines, you got an Invader ATV, which is like an attack bike upgrade. It's kind of a cool little buggy. I've seen pictures of people putting Mario and Luigi's faces on them. It's just excellent. There are some design notes though, not just from Mario Kart, but also from the Dark Knight series, the Batmobile. It's got quite a lot of angles on it and that. It is very Marmite. So, but that is it. It comes with multi-melter or an Onslaught Gatling gun, so that's cool. Also, we got a weapon platform coming, a Firestrike server turret. It's a possible Thunderfire cannon replacement, but to be honest, Thunderfire cannon is a lot better. It's just got more firepower, especially the Tech Marine that comes with it. It's just armed to the teeth. That comes with twin las claws and twin auto cannons as well, so those will be your options straight out of the box. And then for the Necrons, we got a Lockhust heavy destroyer, so that was another correct guess of mine. again, Idic Beer, Nick, I got you on that one. So he said it was going to be a destroyer. Okay, fine, you got the destroyer part right, based on the weapon that it had, but I thought it would definitely be a heavy destroyer, because it looks heavy. It gets 2 weapon choices as well, which is cool. So you got the Gauze Destructor and the Anitic Exterminator. So who knows what that does? No one knows, but it's going to be awesome. We also got the Canoptic Doomstalker. So like the Reanimator, but it's got a Doomsday Blaster on the top and Twin Link Gauze Flayers. So very shooty. I guess that's just built to look over terrain, and if you're thinking about the new terrain rules, that makes sense to have something that's a lot higher up, to have a better vantage point to see your enemy over or through terrain. So that's quite a smart design, influenced by new rules. And then of course you got the novel from Gav Thorpe as well, which is supposed to tie in with everything that's going on in this box. So that's all my notes. I can't waffle anymore because you'll probably get bored. You'll probably fall asleep already. So please let me know what you think. If I got anything wrong, or if you got any opinions on what you've seen or heard, let me know in the comments below. Please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you're feeling extra generous, there are ways of supporting the channel through PayPal, Patreon, or clicking the affiliate links down below as well. Every penny will go back into the channel, and if there's enough left over, I might invest it in an Indomitus box, and then I can get you guys to see exactly what's in it on release day. So that would be really cool. So yeah, until then, until the next one, thank you so much for listening to me, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.